and Michelle. I'm Melissa. I'm the intake coordinator for the domestic violence shelter here. How are you?
Well, I'm okay.
Okay. Well, Tricia told me you came in last night, you and your two kids, and that you guys were struggling and needed some help. So this is where I get with you and we go over some things and find out what it is we can help you with to get you back out and get you stable on your own. I just want to let you know that we do have confidentiality issues here, that we are not issues but rules, that we are mandated reporters, that we do have to report certain incidents, like if you're planning on hurting someone or yourself or your children, or if your children are in danger, we obviously have to report that.
Okay.
But you'll be aware of it if we are reporting something. Otherwise, what stays in our assessment is between you and I and your treatment team. Okay? So why don't you tell me a little bit about what happened that brought you here?
Well, this is really embarrassing for me to tell you about this, but I got to do what I got to do for my family. But my husband has been diagnosed, and he is manic depressive. And he won't take his medicine because he's ashamed of other people, knowing about his situation. And he's just self-medicating. He's just drinking and drugging, trying to take care of it himself. And last night, he just flipped out on me. He was just in a real high state, and then I was trying to get him to calm down, and the more I would tell him to calm down, the more angry he would become. And so he just came after me, and he was trying to attack me, and all I could think about was my babies. So I just grabbed my babies and my purse and filled up the diaper bag, and I was out of there.
Did the police get involved last night?
I was scared to call them. I was afraid to call them, and I was afraid to tell my parents, and I was just, my first priority was just trying to get out of there, and I didn't want him to beat me up anymore, and I certainly didn't want him hurting my kids, and I just came here for help.
Tell me a little bit more about why you feel embarrassed.
Well, he's kind of known in the community, well known in the community, and I'm afraid of some negative repercussions that might, come about, as far as I just want him to get some help. But it seems as if the more that I try to help him, the more it actually comes back, and it's very hurtful, because I realize that he's not going to be able to make a change until he wants to. But I just got to take some time and just figure things out. But
how long has this been going on?
Probably for about 6 months to a year. 6 months to a year.
What changed 6 months to a year ago to get you where you are now?
Well, I think when he started talking about, doing some of the things that were a little different, I used to try to make excuses for him and pretend like it didn't happen, and he would say different things to me, and I would just ignore it. But then when it got to the point where I couldn't take the verbal abuse anymore, the emotional abuse, and I would talk back to him and say he thought I was being disrespectful to him. And that would just set him off even more. It's like the more I resisted some of the things that he was saying to me, the more angry he would become.
And you said he was self-medicating with alcohol and drugs.
Yes.
Do you know what drugs he's self-medicating with?
I think it may be cocaine.
Cocaine, okay.
Yes.
And how long do you think he's been doing that?
Probably around that length of time.
6 months or so.
And it seems like as soon as there was a name for what he was going through, at first I just thought it would be, moodiness and things, and then he would be really sad, and then I feel bad for him, and then he would just, then he would become really angry, and he'd just talk all the time, and and then if I didn't respond to some of the conversations that he wanted to have, then it was just too much. The cycle had just become too much.
So what would be your goal here? What would you like to see happen while you're here?
Well, I'm going to have to talk to my parents and tell them the truth about, the issue of what is happening. I also need to make sure that I have secure housing for my children and I. And I think I need some psychological, some physical, some, therapy myself, because I don't want to get into that abusive cycle,
Right.
myself.
Okay.
And I think that's very important for me.
Okay. What about with your husband? Do you see yourself trying to get back with him? Or do you see yourself separating from that?
I don't want to go back into that situation
Okay.
again.
Well, what we can help you do is we can help you get therapy and get your kids set up with therapy. We can help you get employment. We'll help you with daycare while you employees are working so that you can save up money. We can help you get signed up with the local human service agency, which can help you with medical as well as housing.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Well, that is something that I never saw or thought that ever would occur in my life, but this is my reality now.
Okay.
And I'm just thankful that there are programs like yours out there to help people like, my children and I.
Mm-hmm.
And I just appreciate you being available. Now, if I need to talk to you about, what's the process if I need to talk to you about?
I'm here Monday through
Something.
Friday, 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
We have somebody on site at all times,
Okay.
so that if something were to come up, they can call us if
Okay.
they need to. Other than that, we have an open door policy. You can stop in at any time because obviously things change from minute to minute, and we have to deal with that. So I'm pretty much available to whenever somebody needs me.
Okay.
How would you like to go about talking to your parents? Do you want to set up a meeting with them?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. But here's one thing that is extremely important to me.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk to my parents and I disclose to them, where I am, where the children and I are, I don't want him to know where
Okay.
I am. Is there some type of confidentiality agreement that no one can?
We are a what's known as like a hidden facility, so that nobody knows where we're located unless they go through the process of calling to get a referral. Then we sent you to the Y like you went to, and then we met you there and did the intake.
Okay.
So what we would do with your parents is we would have a mutual meeting place for them,
Okay.
as well as like we did you, and we would meet them there mutually, and have a session there, and then you would come back.
Okay.
But we ask that you not give anybody our address or our phone number directly up to the offices. That is for you and your information only.
Okay.
And then I would assume that your parents won't have contact with him.
Oh, no.
After they hear
no,
what he's
not
done.
at all. I can definitely promise you that. So.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I feel so much better after I talk to you.
Good, good. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I want you to think about what order you want to work in and what's most important to you right now, to what's least important, so that when we meet tomorrow, we can decide what route we're going to take, and what the first steps are for you.
Okay.
Because obviously they differ for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 2 small children, whereas somebody may have 1 or 5 or none. So we need to figure that out, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay, so until then, if you need anything, just stop by and we'll get you taken care of. Our kitchen is full of food. We have a pantry for your kids and clothing if you need that. And we have a TV room. We just ask that you stay with your children.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, Michelle, it was good to meet you, and hopefully we'll get you set up and set you off on a new life.
All right. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you.